For some reason, photographers fail miserably at making money from e-commerce, pack shots, and product photography. And there's some really good reasons why. We're going to go into them now. So this is going to help you. This is going to be an overview thing. If you want the minutiae details, head over to Studio Access. I'll pop a link below. You can have it for free for a week. Next week, as of when this goes up today, we're going to be uploading all of the new e-commerce stuff on there. So you'll be on there for free to see that. What is it that goes on? Well, the first thing is, a lot of you misunderstand what product photography, e-commerce photography, and pack shots are. It is a broad gamut. Now behind me, I don't know if you can see, I've been doing some e-commerce work because I own a company that has e-commerce as part of it. So rather than us outsourcing it, and this is a real big reason why, because most e-commerce photographers are a bloody nightmare to deal with, we do it in-house. I pay my other company to do the e-commerce photography. It's £1,000 worth of photography. I do it for £1,000, which means I'm taking a pretty hefty pay cut for the day as a photographer, but we're getting high quality work. So swings and roundabouts, not an ideal situation, but for now it's going to have to work until we can find somebody who can do a good enough job. The e-commerce I'm shooting is stylized e-commerce. It's pretty pictures. I'm not going to show because I don't want my other businesses being out there, but it's stylized e-commerce. It's not product shots. There's set building and all the rest of it. It's very nice e-commerce. Now, this shot here is a product photograph. It is not e-commerce. This was for worldwide distribution on billboards. This is a product photograph. This photograph here, almost identical in its makeup, this was e-commerce. The actual name of the thing you're doing is not, it's not so much what it looks like, it's its use. Apart from pack shots. Pack shots are seamless white with a transparency, so you can use them as cutouts and put them in different places. They're pack shots. I commission a lot of pack shots. If we get a big ad campaign and we take the whole bundle, we do the video, we do the stills, we do everything, the SKUs, all that sort of stuff. And the pack shots, we don't do them in-house because it's too much faff and it costs us too much money to do it. We go to a pack shot factory. It's £10 a photo. If you're wondering how much you can charge for a pack shot, £10. If you're charging £10 and still not getting work, keep listening. Also, if you're charging £10 getting work but not making enough to make a living, that's where Studio Access is going to come and help you because you've got the wrong business model. And that is the biggest thing that people get wrong. So we're now diving into the list if you were unsure there. The biggest thing people get wrong is the business model. They have the wrong business model. They don't understand what the business is. People think pack shot photography is easy. E-commerce photography is easy. I did 100 shots in 8 hours of individually styled sets. I had to use all of my skills, all of my know-how to be able to achieve that. And there's no retouching because it's £10 a shot. There's no time for retouching. People think it's an easy way into photography. It's not that difficult. It is so bloody difficult to do it and to make it profitable, because to make it profitable, you have to be damn good with a camera and a light. You can't just be like, oh, we'll just try it out. Most times when we're looking for somebody to do the pack shots or the e-commerce for whatever campaign or thing we've got, the website's showing consistent work. They're having consistent lighting. The white backgrounds across 50 shots are all different. That's not what we want. We want to be able to go, here's the product, and like later that day, here's the images ready to go, perfect. You have to be so skilled to be a pack shot photographer. Sure, it's easy to get into it. You don't need much kit or skill, but to actually make it a business, you do need a lot of kit and a lot of skill. There's no time for focus stacking. There's no time for fix it in post. You've got to nail it. It's like the wedding photography of this commercial world. You've got to be really skilled. Now, having the right business model kind of carries on into all of this stuff, but I know people who make $500,000 a year doing pack shots. It is completely achievable, but you do need the right business model. You probably don't have it, and as we go through this list, you'll probably see why. And the next point is tech. Do you have the right tech? Now, you might think for a pack shot, well, all you need is a 6 megapixel camera, which is kind of true. Yet when we're doing our pack shots and our e-commerce shots, we shoot it on a 100 megapixel technical camera because we don't have time to focus stack. We shoot it with broncolor lighting because we don't have time to color correct. We need these things to be right. If you're shooting it and you're focus stacking it with a camera and you're using Godox lighting, it's all over the shop. And if I need 100 shoes photographing, you're not the person for me. Also, are you aware of the robots being used at the moment? They're really good, they're really useful. They output a nice final baked in preset onto the JPEG. It's a very good thing. It works really well. The angles are consistent. Getting my camera, where is it? Here, no, here. That screen's difficult. Getting that camera to be consistent at the same angle from day to day is very difficult. It takes a lot of measurement and a lot of time. The robot, you pre-program it in and it's good to go. You need to understand the tech in the industry, and it's probably not the tech you think it is. We'll go into that in more detail in Studio Access, but it's not like, oh, megapixels and resolution. No, it's very different tech you need. File organization and all that sort of thing, naming, recipes, it all needs to be dialed in perfectly. There's a real workflow to it, which makes it profitable and also good. You also need to understand the market. I see a lot of people going, well, I'm going to do this because this camera runs off of this system here, this thing here. Let me go and give that to these clients over here. The problem is the clients don't give a flying whatever about what the camera companies want. And I see so many photographers marketing what they think is product photography to people who don't want it. When I'm trying to find, honestly, we look for product photographers all the time. We look for pack shot places all the time. There's so few. Like, there's a huge chasm where there's so much potential to make a lot of money, but everyone's doing the wrong thing. And you can tell when they're professional and they understand the industry, and you can tell when they're a photographer who's trying to make it into the industry, because they do two very different things with their businesses. Now, a big one for me that I found, and this is a really difficult one to fix as well, when reaching out to product and pack shot photographers, is a lot of them are dicks. It's also mostly a male industry as well. So when I say, you know, this guy was a dick, it is because it is predominant. I think I've contacted one lady so far, but apart from that, I've been contacted mostly dudes. They're dicks. Honestly, within 2 emails, I'm like, yeah, we're not going to work together. You sound like a nightmare. You sound like you can't manage a project, and you sound like you're going to be difficult when there's problems. And there will be problems, because I can tell, because you're being difficult. If you have a can-do attitude, if you're good at project management, then you will fly through this industry. If not, you'll get clients once and they won't come back. The equipment you're using. Now, this is the channel that says, don't worry about kit. Kit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter and it does matter. There's always, you know, it's never a black and white thing. But as we've mentioned previously, with understanding the tech in the industry, having the right equipment actually matters in this industry. If you're doing product work, pack shot work, whatever, it would help you to have a technical camera. It would help you to have high quality light. Yeah, the camera you have on the back of it doesn't really matter, or the sensor. Any medium format 16-bit one would be amazing. Anything less than that, full frame sensor would be amazing. You know, you can buy a 5 DSR, that would do the job. Bang it onto a Cambo with a technical lens on the front of it with something like a floating element, and you'll be happy for days. You know, you don't need loads of kit, but you do need good quality kit. You don't have to go and buy brand new Broncolor, but go and buy some secondhand Broncolor. You need something with consistent output. This is where cheaping out on lights will haunt you. And also having an automatic lens will haunt you. And you need a manually firing lens with manual aperture, not an automatic lens. Again, we'll go into that more detail in Studio Access, but automatic lenses are not the one for this job. Now, something I've seen a few photographers who have been quite successful kind of fail or ruin their lives with is the number of clients they have. And it goes in two ways. There was one person who had one client who was paying them a fortune. They upset them because they were a dick, and they lost the clients. Their business went under. I've met several photographers who have too many clients. And the problem with e-commerce is, because of the business model you have to run, the onboarding process takes up too much time. You basically, there's a sweet spot of clients. You want to have repeat clients, so you know what they're doing and it's all just going through nicely. You need to split that out in a way that if you lose 1 or 2 clients, it doesn't rock the whole boat. But it is difficult. It's a bit of a Goldilocks and the 3 bears. It's just right. And it's the same in photography. I had a few years where I relied on 2 clients heavily. Both those clients are now gone because of Brexit. And because of that, if I didn't have other clients to bring stuff in, I'd have been absolutely screwed. Now, it took another 8 clients to suffer the blow from what those 2 lost me, but because I had those 8 other clients, it was okay. If I had 20 clients the whole time doing small stuff, I'd have spent my life in pre-production meetings and whatever it may be. You need to keep a good, healthy number of clients, not too many, not too few. You'll know when it's right because you'll be making money and having weekends off. Systems. The few unfortunate experiences I've had with small independent pack shop product photography people is they don't have systems. Everything's chaos. There's, you've lost a file and you need to get it back, and they've got to go through the whole thing and re-edit it. You get the file naming and it comes all through wrong. It doesn't match your file naming for your website system. There just needs to be systems. We have like this thing here, what I'm doing once a week for this company I have. Even though it's my company and then it's me doing it, I have systems because I don't have time to waste on things. We plan our days so relentlessly actually that we're having to now remove 2 hours per day for fuck up time because it happens. But we have to plan our days carefully, and systems are key. And that is your whole workflow, everything. We have a system for capture, we have a system for storage, we have a system for delivery, we have a system for redelivery, because it's not just me in this other company, I've got a partner as well. And if they need something and they want it from me quickly, I need to be able to do that quickly. Even though it's my company, it doesn't mean I can just mess it up. I still have responsibilities and we still have time constraints, and we have to keep it all running nice and smoothly. Setup. This behind me, I've not packed it down because I've not gone to the next job yet, but this behind me is my e-commerce setup for this job. Once I've moved in behind those doors over there, I will have this setup permanently set up. You cannot be breaking down, packing up and building up and all that nonsense all the time if you're doing a busy, profitable e-commerce system. It doesn't work. And for pack shots, that's got to be permanent. You need to have everything in place all the time, ready to go. If I have to set the lights up every time, that's half an hour of my day gone. I'm going to pack them down at the end of there. It's an hour of my day gone. That could be a good 7 shots or £70, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. You know, £70, £700, it's about £1,000 at the end of the year, just in packing down and putting stuff up again. It also means that if you're not particularly skilled at lighting, it's going to take you longer than I am. I'm very good at recreating exact lighting. It's something I do and have done for decades. If you're not able to literally look at a photo from the preview, shoot and go, yep, 63 inches, 45 degrees down, you know, whatever it is. If you're not able to do that, and we do have actual methods for this as well, which we go into in Studio Access, but if you can't do that, you need to keep it set up all the time. Website, social media, and marketing. Oh, it's such a difficult one, but let me tell you this, on Instagram, no one cares about your pack shots. They're dull as, they're boring. That's not gonna get you any work. There's gonna be a really in-depth video on marketing over on Studio Access, and I feel this sounds like an advert for it now, but let me give you some free, useful advice. Be interesting. Be the solution. Be what it is that people want help with. Show people what they don't care about. It sounds stupid, but we don't care about the photograph. When I'm doing something with a pack shot company, I expect, it's a given, the photograph will look like a, you know, I don't know, I was going to say something rude then, a cucumber on a white background. We expect it to come back like that. But we want all the other stuff. We want the seamless delivery. We want the nice to deal with people. We want the fun. Make it apparent that you are that. Show people that. And on the website, simple pricing structures, how it works, like deliveries, recollections, and all the rest of it. Or do you have a fee for disposal of the product, whatever it might be? Because often we don't want the product back, because it's too much of a pain. We just want it gone. How much does that cost? All the information just clearly laid out, turnaround times, and a contact telephone number. I'm not emailing anybody who doesn't have a telephone number on there, because I'm going to phone you up first anyway to see if you're actually in business, because most of you aren't, or you have day jobs, and that makes it very difficult. Have the phone number on there. The last point, and the most important one, and one that I see far too often, as I said earlier in this video, it seems like an easy job. It seems like the starting point into you have to be skilled to do this. Most product, e-commerce, pack shot photography sucks. And that's why you don't get the work. You need to work on the work. And we can help you with that, but you also need to put in the time. I hope it's been of use to somebody. I hope it's helped you understand what's going wrong with your business. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.